afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. It's a real good podcast network there. I just feel thrilled to be invited to have my own show there. Lots of folks will tell you the truth, and whether it hurts or not. So, and trends, things that are happening right now. Supply chain, do I need to get used to that? Maybe get something started to make sure my family is well equipped in case something bad happens. And lots of really, really good folks on there. Talking about good folks, I've got Brian Brown with me right now. Alabama, how do I say this?
Alabama Cooperative Extension.
I've only known you how many years? But anyway, he is my source, and it needs to be your source too. And I know that we're not going to talk about it in extension, but you need to really think about the Master Gardeners class. It is so worth it. The small amount of money you're paying, you're getting thousands of dollars of research and things that have been done, all kinds of information coming into your head, and it's so valuable.
Yeah, it's a great course. So
I'll tell you now, I didn't want to tell you before, but I would more than triple pay that. I would.
I'll make sure to pass that up the chain there.
Yeah, don't tell them I'm going to pay triple. But it's well worth it at a low cost.
Yeah, absolutely. So we welcome everybody. If you're just interested in gardening or anything like that, come on. We'd love to have you. And actually, we have another course that it's the Master Gardener course without the volunteer component. Now, it is more expensive. But if there's a lot of people who don't have time to go through the course.
I was stretching it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who work and they work night or days and they can't come to the class, which we have our class during the day, and it's called Garden U. And so Garden U is exactly the same material, but you take it online. Oh, okay. And so all the course material is the same. You just kind of watch the video. And the reason why we can get away with, it's more expensive is because we feel like if you're going to volunteer, you kind of get a discount on the course. So that's what we really want to push is the volunteer component. And so if you just want the education, it costs a little more. So, but yeah,
it's a great course. You need to take it.
Yeah, and actually, I have another course coming up. I haven't set a date yet, but it's coming up in Etowah County. We're going to call it Plant Camp. And Plant Camp is a 5-week course, crash course. It's not just a course, it's a crash course in horticulture. So we're going to learn about diseases and insects and weeds and landscape design and all kinds of stuff. So it's a really intense 5 weeks. It's 2 hours and it's at night or in the evenings. We'll pick an evening and we'll do it every week. And
it gives you time. If you got kids in school, you can get them and homework done.
So we're going to do it in evenings, and that'll be coming up. So that will be at Etowah County. So it'll be in Gadsden, and so we'll have information about that. So just watch the Etowah County, Alabama Facebook page, and there'll be information coming soon.
Absolutely. So why is it so important we take these classes?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Most people want to know how to grow their own garden or how to fix the plants in their landscape. So there's that, but there's also extension as a whole. What we do as extension employees is we take information that's science-based information that has been studied, and we disseminate that out to the public. So we're not supposed to give out any, home remedies and things like that. Sometimes they might work, but they haven't been proven scientifically. And so that's one of the biggest differences for us is we don't go out and share just any old thing. It has to be science-based information. And a lot of people right now are getting their advice, especially plant advice, from Facebook or TikTok. And just for example, a lot of people say, well, you can use Dawn dish detergent for insecticide. Well, partially. That is not good. It will kill bugs, absolutely. Dawn dish detergent will kill bugs. However, it's also phytotoxic. so it will kill your plants also.
Ooh,
So don't do it. That's my advice. Just stay away. It will kill your insects. So like you have a tomato hornworm. You know, how do you deal with tomato hornworms? You pick it off.
Use your fingers.
You just use your finger and pick it off, and then throw it in a jar or something that's got Dawn dish detergent. You know, dissolve it a little bit. It will kill it. That's fine, but don't spray it on there because it will burn your plants. And so that soap is just a little too harsh. So if you're going to use a soap, you use a horticultural soap. And what that soap does, it on most worms, I wouldn't say a true worm, it's caterpillars actually. They have along the side of their body, they have little holes all down their body called spiracles. And that's how they breathe. They breathe through the holes in their sides. And so
that was an odd thing. I remember hearing that in class.
Yeah.
Going, what?
Yeah, so that's how they breathe. They breathe through their holes, spiracles in the side of their bodies. And when you put that horticultural soap on there, it clogs it up. And so they can't breathe. So they end up choking to death and dying. So, which is what caterpillars should do.
I think it was marketing on Dawn. You remember the commercials came on a long time ago with the ducks that had the oil spill on them?
Yeah.
I think that's how some of that vibe started.
Yeah. And it's good for things like that. But, as far as, using it on your plants, don't do that. And the same thing with horticultural oils. I'm from Walker County, Alabama, so it's hard for me to say oil.
I can't say it either. It's that mountain thing.
But, horticultural oils are really good for that too. I will warn you though, it's getting hot. And so if you should not use neem or horticultural oils when it gets hot because it will burn your plant. And it's basically like you're frying. You fry an oil.
Makes sense.
You put it on your plant, you're going to fry your plant. So be careful. Make sure it's below about 85 degrees if you're going to use that. So
I got to tell you something else I learned too, and this is about making teas. Now this is not something you did in class. This is what we learned last week. And so, but one of our listeners actually sent an email to me and said, "Did you know you can make tea out of blueberry leaves?"
Interesting.
And you can. And so I did a little research on that. Now, I have to research everything, okay? I can't just go spit it out there like you can't, okay? And so Phil and I've been boiling leaves, the leaves of blueberries. Now, if you'd like to dry the leaves, that's fine. But if you'll go ahead and dry some of the blueberries too, it gives it a much better taste. But it's good for you, and it'll help you sleep. And gives you energy throughout the day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what does it taste like?
Nothing really.
Oh,
It doesn't have a bad taste.
Okay.
But no, it's recommended you add it to juice or put some of the dried blueberries in with the tea as well. But it's kind of a sense of living off the land, because I've always wondered, what did people do 2,000 years ago before Tylenol came, and before some of these medicines came in? They lived off the land and they made roots on everything.
Yeah. They probably were tougher than us too.
They were.
So.
They were. And I'll go ahead and give you another example. So years and years ago, I was about 6, my brother was about 5. For some reason, we started getting risins. And they were on our arms and what have you. And my parents couldn't figure it out. They took us to doctors and everything else, just couldn't figure it out. Probably just laying around with dogs and cats and, like kids will do. So a next door neighbor said, if you get some peach tree limbs, the thin ones, got to be real little, don't get them like the half the tree, but small, skinny limbs, and cut those up into pieces and boil those limbs, they'll get rid of those. And it did.
Wow.
And the doctor been giving us, all kinds of prescriptions and everything to get rid of them. But I like natural alternative. I'll try that first.
Sure. And that's, and that's the kind of information I can't give out. So she can, but
it did,
for us,
it did work. But they can't do it. But
we just that's scientific based information.
It's got to be scientific.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's why anytime you call someone with extension, we're going to give you that answer from a science based approach. Now, other things may work. They very well may work.
And then it may work for me and not for you.
Yeah. And
that's another thing. I think it's your DNA or something.
So that's one of the things you have to, you got
to be careful.
You got to be careful about. And so that's why you can trust the answers that we give you. And sometimes, like I had a call this morning. I've had a lot of calls this morning. But, sometimes you get a call and the answer is you can't do anything, and people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Pecans, I mentioned that before. That's there's not a lot a homeowner can do for that. So
what about the way, like if you get bugs, the bad bugs? Okay, there's some good ones out there. I learned that there's some good ones.
Very good bugs.
And so sometimes bugs are going to hide under the leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you're putting something on them, so what's a good result for that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of insects that they really like. Mosquitoes, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Mosquitoes hang out under the leaf of the plant.
Those things.
Yeah, so if you want to kill those things, you can spray up under the leaf, and that will kill it. Or, going back to natural remedies, if you want to put reflective, something like we call it plastic mulch, and all it is just a plastic cover. You get some of that's white, and that actually reflects the sunlight to the bottom side of that leaf. And the reason why they hang out is because they don't like the sunlight. So if you're reflecting light up under that leaf, then it'll drive them away. And it's just a simple, natural thing. It works really well on thrips. Thrips is like a little microscopic little insect, but it spreads a lot of viruses. And but thrips hang out on the bottom of the leaves, and so they can use reflective plastic mulch to reflect that sunlight on the bottom, and it just kind of drives them away.
There's white stuff all over the place in this front yard.
Yeah.
I guess you saw it when you drove up. We've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, Channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Now, you're a man of many talents, and Brian Brown, and so he is with us. You've been with us for quite a while now, and I'm always thrilled to have him on the show every single month. One thing that you are really a master at, and that is landscaping. and I'm saying it because I've seen some of your work.
I try. I
bet when he comes here and he looks at my stuff, he goes, Donna.
Yeah, landscaping is that's what my degree was in, my bachelor's degree, and I am a certified landscape designer for the state of Alabama, and you have to take a test to get that certification, and thankfully I passed. And I've had that certification since I graduated, which has been 20-something years ago, But yeah, you get certified, and then actually before I took this job in Extension, I was a landscape designer. and we did some really, really nice properties at Smith Lake, which Smith Lake is in. It's in 3 counties in Alabama, and it's a beautiful lake, one of the prettiest and cleanest lakes in Alabama. And we did lake properties, and gosh, it was great. I loved working there. My boss was an awesome guy, just really good guy, and we got along and we hung out. You know, we were friends. You know, and but I learned so much about design and business and landscaping and just everything, and I learned so much from that experience. But one of the great things about doing those designs is I learned that people have a lot of money that live on the lake. we had people.
I'd be penny pinching. I'd go, no, wait a minute, how much is that going to cost?
We had people who had just unlimited budgets. They're like, oh, I like this. They wouldn't even ask questions. They're like, okay, just do it. It was amazing, and you know, we did have some that had budgets, but most of them, I mean, there's one guy we had, you know, did a $350,000 landscape for.
Wow.
And that's
that
worth
also
more than my house.
increases the amount of what your house is worth.
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, you know, that house was, you know,
It was
a
already
couple $1 million.
mil.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
wasn't a big deal for them. But yeah, you know, it was a great experience learning, and you know, also I've become a drone pilot. So I would actually use my drone to fly up and get aerial shots,
Oh,
so I could
That makes it
design.
a lot easier that way too.
Yeah, so you could design directly on the image that I take from the drone. So it was really cool. We could set the scale of it and everything, and I just learned a whole lot from that experience.
How important is alignment of plants? So let's just say you have 3 different size plants. How do you align them in a garden?
Well, you know, honestly, the best thing to do is, you know, different people have different styles. I'm kind of split down the middle. I enjoy naturalistic style, so it's just things are kind of random. But I also love formal landscapes. So formal landscapes are very linear. You can have some curves in there, but they're very, I don't want to say formal, but they are formal. You know, there's
a little
very
more industrial,
defined.
maybe?
Yeah, a little more defined.
Uh-huh.
Rather than just kind of willy-nilly thrown in there with a naturalistic style.
I have been known to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, the seed went there. That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's you know, that's the couple of different styles you can shoot for, and but I like both. I like formal gardens. I really enjoy those because they're very precise. But I also love naturalistic because they just they're very welcoming, and it just kind of depends on the style you want to go with. So the answer to your question is, it depends. So, but yeah, it just depends on how you want to do it. You know, you can have some very naturalistic designs, but have some incorporated a little bit of natural feel to it too. So
it needs to feel comfortable. It needs to feel like a place you can go and relax. Almost like a Zen feel.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. So,
that's
and
my
really,
little hideaway.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. And you know, that just depends on what style you're going for or how you're going to use the area. You know, if you're going to, if you want a place of solitude where, you know, if you are living on the lake and you like to have coffee in the morning while you watch the sunrise,
That's mine.
and you want that seclusion, you know, secluded area that's quiet, you don't hear your neighbors or see your neighbors, you might want to go a little more natural. But if you have parties all the time and you have people over and you love to entertain,
I like that too.
yeah, so you can have both, but you know, you have to decide on how you're going to use that area, and that's really your number one thing, is decide how you're going to use that area, and then you just kind of, everything flows from there. And you know, another thing I used to do is I used to scan websites and try to figure out what are people doing, like what, you know, nothing's new under the sun. So, you know, get that garden magazine and flip through it, or, you know, go drive around. I like to drive around in Huntsville where all the nice rich people live.
Oh, yeah.
And I love to look at their landscapes and I love the way they did this or they did that. and I get inspired that way. And so
Mhm.
you can use some of that inspiration from other people.
Uh-huh.
So
Is there a kid-friendly garden?
yeah, absolutely.
Type area.
There's a lot of things that are
You wouldn't want a
not
cactus in there.
well, and that's what I was going to say is there's a lot of things that are not kid friendly.
Yeah.
They may have what we refer to in Alabama as stickers.
Mhm.
You know, they'll have thorns or prickles or something like that.
Mhm.
Just something that they could, maybe something that's poisonous. There's a lot of poisonous plants out there.
Because kids will put it in their mouth.
That's right. So
Mhm.
things that we like to use in a children's garden are things that are sensory. So things that smell, or have some kind of aroma, like rosemary. Rosemary's a really good one for that because it's
Almost all of it died this year.
yeah, it got hit pretty hard.
But I got some new. I'm going to plant it.
Yeah, so things like that, things that attract pollinators, maybe not bees because some kids are allergic to bees,
Right.
but things that attract butterflies.
Mhm.
Butterfly gardens are great for kids, or just something that's a little bit interactive. Maybe there's a lot of plants out there that have some kind of unique characteristic where if you touch it, they'll close up their petals, or
Uh-huh.
maybe like a Venus flytrap
Yeah,
or
it'd
something.
be like a learning experience. for
Exactly. So
kids.
something just a little more designed to keep a kid's interest, because we all know how that's hard to do.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. To last more than 1 minute.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but yeah, there's a lot of. There's children's gardens in a lot of these botanical gardens, and they hire people specifically for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very very big thing. And like I said, you don't want to use anything that has thorns or prickles, or we didn't get into thorns or prickles, right?
Yeah, we kind of did. Not
Well,
on today's show, but we did.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
class.
I was going to say that. What's that singer?
I'm not a fan.
What's that singer? Every rose has its thorn.
Oh, yeah.
It's wrong. It's not. Every rose does not have its thorn.
Uh-huh.
Every rose has its prickle.
Uh-huh.
So that's on a
remember that.
rose. A rose is called a prickle. So
Uh-huh.
officially, you can still sing the song.
Oh, and then the way roses smell, like the older. In fact, I bought an older variety this
Mhm.
past when we went to the little area
Yeah.
this past week.
Okay.
So yeah, I bought one because the roses don't smell
Mhm.
like I thought they should.
Yeah, some of the hybrid roses, they can breed certain things in or out of them, and so some of the old-fashioned roses may smell a little stronger than some of the new ones, and vice versa. They may have some new roses that smell much stronger
Uh-huh.
because they bred that into that.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, it's pretty neat how they do those.
Well, I'm all excited about the classes, and you have to go. Okay, I know this is exactly the answer you're looking for. If I had known this, I would have done it years ago.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got you in the class and got you plugged in now, and you're ready to just jump in head first.
Well,
And
sorta.
you've been doing that.
Sort of.
Well,
but I
you-
will say the concrete garden is the best idea ever.
Yeah.
The concrete block. So it's working for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it does for me because of all this mud and I call it quicksand out there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
'cause
Every
you-
time I come, it rains. So
what are you doing?
I don't
Brian?
know. I don't
Doing
know
a
what I'm
rain
doing.
dance?
Yep.
But Brian, thank you so much. And
Sure.
Brian's always going to be with us. So we'll be on next month again. And we'll just pick a date. But thank you again for everything you did
Sure.
for the class. And I'll have to tell you, the students loved it too.
Good. Well, good.
Everybody has been talking about how great that class was. Hope you get this guy as a teacher. We'll be seeing you a little bit later again, Brian. Thank you. And thanks to the extensions. We definitely appreciate them. But thank you so much for watching. And also wanted to thank our sponsors. You guys are awesome as well. But again, thank you. And we'll see you again in just a few with another fantastic guest.